Hello, hello, and welcome. This is Beverly Fells Jones, the Silver Fox of Consciousness, and welcome to my show. On this show, I talk about how to expand your world of thought, explore the world of positive thinking, law of attraction, and consciousness from many points of view. And I do this because I truly believe you have been given the power of the word and thought to create the life that you desire. So welcome, those of you who are new, who have just found me. Thank you for listening to this program. And those of you who are longtime listeners, thank you for being here. If you haven't, please subscribe, hit the bell. You know the rules on YouTube. And please make a comment or two to let me know what it is that may have helped you make a change in your life or a decision, because I don't really know how this helps others, but I know it helps me as I read these and I take them in and I apply the information to my life, and I wish the same for you. So this is part 2 of Be Strong, Fear Not, with Florence Scovel Shinn in her book, The Power of the Spoken Word. Now, when we ended last time, we said, when you are awake to your good, you know there are no enemies, for God utilizes every person and situation for your good. Hindrances are friendly and obstacles stepping stones. One with God, you become invincible. You don't want to have fear in your life. And I mentioned, if you find yourself with negative thoughts, say cancel, cancel, and think about what you want instead. So let me continue on with this chapter. This is a very powerful statement. God's invincible power sweeps all before it. I ride the waves into my promised land. Riding the waves, they take you to your destination, free, now listen, free from the undertow of negative thinking, which will pull you down. Your thoughts and desires are always taking you somewhere. Prentice Mulford says, the persistent purpose, that strong desire, that never ceasing longing, is a seed in the mind. It is rooted there. It is alive. It never stops growing. There is a wonderful law involved in it. This law, when known, followed out, and trusted, leads every individual to mighty and beautiful results. Okay, so what's this law, right? Okay, let's get it. The law followed with our eyes open leads to more and more happiness in life, but followed blindly with our eyes shut leads to misery. Remember in part 1 where she said that the man would only say, one thing I know, whereas I was blind, now I can see. So open your mind and open your eyes to your possibilities. Let me continue. This means that desire is a tremendous vibrational force and must be rightly directed. Take this statement. I only desire that which infinite intelligence desires through me. I claim that which is mine by divine right and under grace in a perfect way. Okay, let me reread this. I only desire that which infinite intelligence desires through me. That in itself is a good statement, right? But continuing on, I claim that which is mine by divine right and under grace in a perfect way. You will then cease desiring the wrong things, and the right desires will take their place. Your dreary desires are answered drearily. Like that. Your impatient desires are long delayed or violently fulfilled. It is important never to lose sight of this. Many unhappy situations have been brought about through dreary or impatient desires. So how many times have things come into your life thinking drearily, negatively, impatiently? Take note of those so that you can claim your divine right under grace and in a perfect way. Let me continue. I will give an example of a woman who was married to a man who wanted her to go somewhere with him every evening. It wore her out, and night after night she wished impatiently that she could stay home and read a book. The desire was so strong it commenced to bud. Her husband went off with another woman. She lost him and his support, but she had the time to stay at home and read a book. Nothing has ever come uninvited into your life. Going back to Prentice Mulford, she says, Prentice Mulford has also some interesting ideas on work. He said, to succeed in any undertaking, any art or any trade or any profession, simply keep it ever persistently fixed in mind as an aim, and then study to make all effort toward it play or recreation. The moment it becomes hard, you are not advancing. As I look back on my experiences in the art world, I see how true this is. From the Academy of Fine Arts in Philadelphia came 8 men, all of about the same age, who became distinguished and successful artists. They were called the 8 in contemporary art. Not one of them was ever known to work hard. They never drew from the antique. They never did anything in an academic way. They simply expressed themselves. They painted and drew because they loved it, for the fun of it. They tell an amusing story of one of them who became a very well-known landscape artist, taking many medals and honorary mentions at exhibits. He had a one-man show in New York City at one of the big galleries and was seated reading a paper. An enthusiastic woman rushed up to him and said, "Can you tell me anything about the wonderful man who painted these adorable pictures?" He replied, "Sure. I'm the guy that painted the damn things." He painted for fun. He didn't care whether people liked his pictures or not. Whereas I was blind, now I can see my right work, my perfect self-expression. Whereas I was blind, now I can see clearly and distinctly the divine plan of my life. Whereas I was blind, now I can see that God's power is the only power, and that God's plan is the only plan. The race thought is still with a belief in insecurity. Awake, thou that sleepeth. God is your eternal security of mind and body affairs. Let not your heart be troubled, neither be afraid. If you were wide awake to your good, you could not be troubled and fearful, waking up to the truth that there is no loss, lack, or failure in the kingdom of reality. Loss, lack, and failure will disappear from your life. They come from your own vain imaginings. The following is an example illustrating the working of the law. A number of years ago, when I was in London, I bought a wonderful fountain pen at Asprey's. It was Japanese and was called the Namaka pen. It was quite expensive, and they gave me with it a guarantee that it would last 30 years. I was very much impressed because every summer on the 5th of August they wrote me asking how the pen was getting along. One might have thought I had bought a horse. It was no ordinary pen and was very satisfactory. I always carried it with me, and one day I lost it. I immediately commenced denying the loss. I said, "There is no loss in divine mind. Therefore I cannot lose the Namaki pen. It will be restored to me or its equivalent." No shops that I knew of in New York City carried those pens, and London was a long way off. But I was charged with divine confidence. I couldn't lose the Namaki pen. One day, going along Fifth Avenue in the bus, my mind caught a sign on a shop for the fraction of a second. It seemed to stand out in the light. It read, "Oriental Craft Shop." I had never heard of it, but I had a strong hunch to go in and ask for a Namaki pen. I got off the bus and went into the shop and asked the saleswoman. The saleswoman replied, "Why, yes, we have quite an assortment. They have just been reduced to $2.50. Now remember, guys, that this was written over 50 years ago. So $2.50 for a pen was kind of like $20 or $30 today, I would say. Anyway, I praised the Lord and gave thanks. I bought 3 and told the above story at one of my meetings. They were soon sold out as people rushed to get them. This was certainly an amazing working of the law, but I was wide awake to my good. I did not let any grass grow under my intuitive lead. And let me stop there for a second and say, so she saw this sign, and like she said, it was just out of the corner of her eye, just a fleeting thing. But she noticed that it said that it had Oriental craft. So she went there. How many times have you just seen something fleeting that was dealing with something that you desired, but you didn't act on it? You didn't go to do the thing. You didn't buy that book, or you didn't go and make that phone call, or you didn't whatever it was, and you missed your opportunity. Now for me, sometimes when I ignore it, intuition says, "Hey, Bev, I'm going to give you another kick. Here's the answer to what you're asking for." And most of the time, if I had missed it the first time, that second nudge will work. But sometimes that first nudge is the only opportunity you have to deal with that. So do it when your intuition talks to you. All right, let me continue. The true student knows he must prove the principle in his everyday affairs. Acknowledge me in all your ways, and I will direct your paths. Verily, verily, I say unto you, he that believeth on me, the works that I do, he shall do also, and greater works than these shall he do, because I go unto my Father. What wonderful faith Jesus Christ had in man. He held the vision of the race to come. The man made in God's likeness and image, imagination. And whatsoever ye shall ask in my name, that will I do, that the Father may be glorified in the Son. If ye shall ask anything in my name, I will do it. He explained to the people that they were under a system of gifts. God was the giver, man the receiver. Believest thou not that I am in the Father, and the Father in me? The words that I speak unto you, I speak not of myself, but the Father that dwelleth in me, he doeth the works. He told people to seek the kingdom, the realm of perfect ideas where all things would be added unto them. He woke them up. Whereas I was blind, now I can see. There is nothing to fear, for there is no power to hurt. I see clearly before me the open road of fulfillment. There is no obstacles on my way. I can see clearly now. You remember that song? Yes. Anyway, she ends with Psalm 8 and the 6th verse. Thou madest him to have dominion over the works of thy hand. Thou hast put all things under his feet. I hope you've enjoyed the rest of this chapter, Be Strong, Fear Not, by Florence Scovel Shinn. And I asked to please like, subscribe, and share so others can know they have the power to create the life they desire. So as you have believed, let it be done to you, and it is so, and I will see you in the next video.